Sri Lanka, mentioned earlier in the news. Oh my. Of course, all their people, just like the New Zealand people recently, are in a state of shock. And whilst all their people are in a state of shock, in came reason 2 for the bombings or killings. Not to remove bomb equipment from people or arresting terrorists. Oh no. Will remove the people's safety weapons to be able to defend themselves. How is that stopping terrorism? It's not. And it's all part of their game that is played out on the people several times in several countries. And the people of Sri Lanka have to think long and hard and ask, will the so-called terrorists hand in their weapons? Will they shite? So you handing in yours puts you in a vulnerable position where you are then relying on the state to protect you. Good luck with that. Bear in mind, your state neglected intelligence, as did New Zealand, I might add, in both countries for those recent incidents. And yet the bombing still took place and 260 plus people died due to their incompetence. Do you still want to rely on them to protect you? Keep hold of your weapons at all costs and ignore these goons running your country. As a side note, over 100 million, yes, you heard that correct, people died following the last 4 countries to hand over guns. Nothing to defend themselves from local and subsequently national criminals masquerading as the government, but ran by the global parasites. Yet again, that pattern repeats. Here's a fun piece before we go into another music break. Questions people don't ask. There's some humour in it. A lot of it is fairly serious stuff, or a lack of thinking on our part. Question 1. Mr. Politician, what are your policies? Question 2. If Russians had colluded, how is the CIA meddling in every other country's election different? 3. To the doctor, during your training, how much of it was spent learning cures? 4. Lawyer, do you understand common or natural law? 5. Lawyer again, why are you working for the Brits under the bar rules? 6. Teacher, do you realise we have all been taught crap for 4 generations? 7. Do people ask the church for proof of what they're saying? Think about that. Brokers, were you a second-hand car salesman before doing this job? Banks and government, do you realise you both only have our money, not yours? Do people ask banks why their savings interest is half to 1% when they charge us 15 to 26% to loan our money, not theirs, back? If guns kill, who pulls the trigger? Bank and money lenders, can you explain the difference between discharging or paying off your debt? Blue pill or red pill? Does anybody ask why we have to take either? Charities. Where did all the money for Africa go? And why are millions still starving there? People in the military. Is it acceptable to kill someone because someone else asked you to? To the IRS. Why are you forcing me under duress to pay for something that is voluntary? To humanity in general. Is it acceptable to hate people from another country if you've never met them? If Jesus returns, will he not be classed as a zombie? How do we know that the people who wrote the Bible or the Talmud or other scriptures were not fake news? Doctor, do you know what is in this vaccine? Can you verify it? Can you swear on your life it is safe to use? Will you sign a $1 billion indemnity should he or she answer yes to all? If inflation is a secret tax and we pay more, when do we get a refund for deflation? Do people ask why in a general election do only two parties get recognised? What would happen today if you told a police officer or a doctor you saw a bush go on fire by itself and then whilst it was on fire it spoke to you? Who told us we had to pay to live on our own planet? Has anybody asked, how can you be an immigrant on your own planet? (24) Do TSA workers at the airport go through the same checks as we do before starting work? If not, why? If your country is democratic and you have royals, who voted for them? If oil is fossil fuel, why are they drilling below the fossil levels? If nuclear power only started in the last century, why is there a layer of fallout across the Middle East and Southeast Asia buried beneath the soil? If Adam and Eve are the first two on this planet, does it not mean all of humanity is born out of incest? If vegetarians are about saving animals, why are they eating all their food? If elections are fair, why haven't we had a person interested in humanity? If GMO is good for us, why does it have no vitamins or nutrients in it? If fluoride is good for our teeth, why does it require a hazmat unit to clean it up? If all trails from planes are contrails, Who developed the planes that don't leave contrails, and why? If a woman is a second-class citizen, why is she responsible for bringing up children? Why can't a large number of current American teachers not answer all the questions from a 13-year-old was tasked to answer back in the 1880s? '36. Has hip-hop ever done a song that doesn't include the lyrics shooting cops, bitch, mofugger, n-word, f-word or ho? 37. Why is everyone sick or dying, including the dog, in country and western music? If black is deemed dark, why is the White House called white? If Columbus founded America, does that mean no one was here before? Did Columbus bring millions of Native Americans ashore with him? If America gained independence from Britain on July the 4th, why did Britain send America its new higher tax tariff 2 weeks later? Why did all domesticated cats only originate in Egypt? If air travel is safe, why did they call their building terminal? If Israel and Jerusalem is so important, then why do most Jews not live there? On a search for pictures of Hillary Clinton, why is there different shapes and sizes of Hillary? If Mr. Mnuchin is the chosen one, why isn't he the president? If every country is in debt, who is the money owed to? If the originals were called the Founding Fathers, who founded them? If ETs have been in orbit around this planet since alt media started, why haven't they landed or helped? How can a country with a GDP of 18 billion, 9 zeros, sustain a global currency reset of 7 quadrillion, 15 zeros or more? If the Earth is wobbling, how can the eclipses be consistent? If the Earth is flat, why hasn't anybody fell off yet? And the final question people don't ask: which executive order, statute, rule or regulation created by our incorporated companies acting as our government stated people shouldn't care for each other?